sports. It's in the game.
Hello everyone and welcome to F1 2021 Breaking Point. I am really looking forward to getting into this. I am so excited to see what they have done with this story mode. We're going to go for the challenging difficulty, the middle of the three, because, well, I'm not the greatest at this game, but I'm not terrible. So I thought that would be around about right. And we're also going to choose the Haas team, because I think it's a bit different maybe to what most people would choose, given recent events. But yeah, there are the assists, and that I will and won't be running. So that is that. But without further ado, let's just get into it and see what this story has to offer. With the 2019 Formula 2 Championship coming down to the final race of the season, young British driver Aiden Jackson is looking to etch his name into the history books.
An incredible race! Look at it! Every driver is being so aggressive! Check it out!
They'll all be feeling the pressure right now. None more so than young Aiden Jackson from Carlin.
That's right. Rumors from the paddock talk about a possible future for Jackson in Formula 1. And with only a few laps to go, this is still anyone's race.
The atmosphere here is electric, and we couldn't have asked for a better finish to the F2 season here in Abu Dhabi. Okay, Aiden, you're doing great. Keep focused. You know what to do. Copy that.
Alright then, here we go. Apologies for the little jump there. I was just messing around with the camera settings, as it was something I did a little bit of throughout this first episode to try and get things looking around about right. I'm still not entirely happy with the way the camera's set up, but I'll sort that out as I play the game more. But anyway, as we get started then in this final F2 race of the season, we are currently sat in fourth position, and we need to try and climb our way forwards throughout the rest of this race. Only a few laps left in this 6-lap race, so we need to get a move on here and try and get past Sergio Sette Camera here, as we're going to go for a dive up the inside, and it's a bit of a late move, but we'll just about get there in time. It took me a bit of time to get back up to speed fully. Haven't played a Formula 1 game in a while before this, but we did get it there. Back past Sergio Sette Camera, and now sitting on the back of Mahavir Raghunathan, who is a lap down, and we get past him rather easily. The legend himself, the GOAT of Formula 2, Mahavir, making an appearance in this Breaking Point story. Of course he does. But our next target is Latifi. Let's see if we can catch him. So we move on, and Latifi off the road there on the left hand side, as we now have a look up the inside into the chicane. Bit a little bit deep there, but we make the move on Latifi and get ourselves up into second. Next up is Giotto. And so we catch up to the Italian on the final lap of the race, as we wind our way through the first sector. Where are we going to try to make a move on Luca Giotto? We're going to have a look to the inside. No, we're going to wait for a better opportunity than the chicane. Getting a nice run here. We might... No, we can't go to the outside. We'll just sit behind and get a good exit onto the straight, sitting in the slipstream then of Luca Giotto, as I was actually checking the car number there. New camera angle there too. An alternative nose camera a little further back, as Giotto defending all the way to the inside and then some. Great defense from Luca Giotto, but not enough. We have the straight line speed in our number one Carlin car, so we're driving in place of Louis Delatraz. But yeah, that was a nice move there on Luca Giotto. We've found our way up into the lead now. And another thing I want to quickly mention is have a listen to this car into the braking zone. They sound so realistic in this game now, so have a listen to this. Just the crackles and all of that in the downshifts sounds really good now, so loving that. But anyway, But now we come around to the final corner, and we're not just going to win the race, we're going to win the Formula 2 Championship.
Fantastic work, Aiden. Great drive, mate. Congratulations.
Yes! Come on!
And he's done it! Jackson's done it! Aiden Jackson wins the F2 Championship!
What a win for Jackson! What a win!
And it couldn't have gone to a better driver. A magnificent result. He's already been vocal about his dreams of one day driving for Ferrari in Formula 1. Let's just hope the right people are watching today. And here he is, the man of the moment, Aiden Jackson.
An amazing race and a fantastic win for this incredible driver.
Indeed. After this, I guarantee that Jackson will be the hot topic in more than a few upcoming F1 team meetings. The future's definitely bright for this young driver.
Having won the Formula 2 Drivers' Championship, Aiden Jackson has now secured a seat in Formula 1 and is preparing to take his first steps into the world's most prestigious motorsport series.
Aiden, now you've made the leap to Formula 1, no surprise to anyone who's been watching your career. How does it feel to be on the verge of getting behind the wheel for your first race?
To be honest with you, Will, it hasn't really quite sunk in yet. The team has given me a fantastic opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime, a dream come true. So, to answer your question, I feel like a little kid. I look around and I'm surrounded by my heroes, you know? I've even had to pinch myself a couple of times. So, yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming. But out on the track, the speed, the noise, even the smell, it's all the same. I just hope my driving is too.
And what about Casper AKKERMAN? Are you intimidated at all having such a seasoned and experienced driver as your first teammate in Formula 1? How's that relationship coming along?
I've always looked up to Casper as someone to aspire to. Growing up as a kid, his pictures all over my bedroom walls, you know? The dream was always to be Casper. But, as it turns out, I'll be racing alongside Casper, which is good enough for me. I get to learn from the best. Besides, every legend has to start somewhere, right?
Aiden, just wondering if we can get your reaction to the obvious comparisons that are being made between you and another F1 driver. Much like you, he made the transition from F2 to F1 last season. What do you say to the press here, and to your fans, who are calling you the new Devon Butler?
The new Devon Butler. I'm alright with that. Does that mean we can lose the old one?
You come over well. They like you. I don't know what you were worried about.
Thanks.
You know, everything's going to be fine out there today. I just know it. Just do what you did in F2. Easy.
Thanks, Brian. I won't let you down. Come on, Aiden. You've got this.
Hello?
Hello, love. How's it going?
All right, Ma. Yeah, it's going all right. Just getting ready.
I saw your interview.
And?
You need a haircut.
All right. Well, thanks, I guess.
But aside from that, you were great. I'm so proud of you, Aiden.
I know, Ma. Thanks.
I wish I could be out there with you. This is everything you've worked towards.
Yeah, I know, but you'll be at the next one.
Just do what you do, and everything will be great.
Thanks, Ma.
And remember, mirror signal maneuver. And always stick to the speed limit.
Great advice. I'm all over it.
I know you are, love. I'll speak to you later. Good luck.
Bye.
Oh, I love that so much. But anyway, let's get into the next part of the story. But first, quickly, is this the first time we've ever seen Jeff's last name? Jeff Nelson, apparently. Anyway, on to the first race of the season. With the world watching and expectations high at Haas, F1 rookie Aiden Jackson appears to be holding his own in his maiden race in Melbourne. With the possibility of a points finish, he keeps focused on the race in front of him.
A solid start, Aiden. Let's try and push it further.
Copy that. Where's Casper?
He's up ahead. Let's try and bring you two closer together.
So we move quite a way along from that little cutscene onto the next lap, and we have a look up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo and potentially Giovinazzi here as we go up the inside a little bit early on the brakes there, though. A bit of contact with Giovinazzi and the damage clearly on reduced or even just turned off completely there, because that should have been front wing off, but we got away with it. But anyway, we move on and catch up to Devon Butler in the Williams, doing quite well in this one, so clearly the Haas and Williams performance has been boosted, but we make the move on him. Next up is AKKERMAN.
What a brilliant Australian Grand Prix this has been, but there's still plenty of time for more drama.
There certainly is, Crofty, and these two have been fighting each other incredibly hard so far. They don't want to go tripping over each other, though, because Devon Butler is coming up from behind. He's on the attack too.
Aiden, Casper's not your priority. We need you to defend.
It's okay. I've got this.
Here comes Butler. 3 abreast going into turn 11. Oh, this can't work, and it doesn't. AKKERMAN's off onto the verge of what looks like damage as well.
Is he okay? Is Casper okay?
He'll be fine. He's heading for the pits now. You just concentrate on the race.
And there we have it. Sure, there's going to be fireworks in the Haas garage tonight.
There will be, Crofty, for sure. Look, it was a late move from Devon Butler, but you never want to see two teammates make contact, and AKKERMAN will surely be seething at that one.
Absolutely, and I tell you who else isn't going to be happy too. Aiden Jackson, not how his F1 race debut should have gone.
The damage appears to be minor. How's it feeling, Aiden?
Yeah, car's okay.
Understood. See how well you can do out there.
Copy.
Alrighty then, let's get back into the action after Butler kind of ruined all of that for us, but thankfully we are still in the race, unlike our unfortunate teammate. So we do have Devon Butler up the road, so we're only one position away from the points, so we should be fine. Hello?
You have 11th place. Butler is ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 2.6 seconds.
So we move on and catch up to Devon Butler, get a little bit close behind him in turn 1, but not going to make the move this time as we get a lot of wheel spin on the exit, and that's going to make the move difficult into turn 3 as well from this far back. We close the gap and we got to go for it, barge him out the way, and well, do to him what he did to us.
Okay, clear.
And we actually did cause a bit of an issue for him there, as we have a look on the replay cameras on board with Devon Butler. We absolutely barged him out the way, and then he just decides to kind of just pull up for a bit and have a picnic in the grass there, so that was interesting. But unfortunately that is all the excitement for this one, so we're going to come around the final corner and we will bring home 1 point for the Haas team.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
We've witnessed some great battles on the streets of Melbourne today, and they've taken a fantastic win. What a start to the season this has been. A fascinating race here in Australia,
The top teams as ever continue to push the boundaries of the sport, and it'll be interesting to see how the new Haas driver Aiden Jackson settles in, especially after that early incident involving his teammate.
Well, we've certainly seen rivalries born from less. Suffice to say, if you came into the 2020 season hoping for a bit of drama, it looks like you won't be disappointed.
an awkward incident involving Devon Butler and his own teammate Casper AKKERMAN marred Jackson's maiden outing in F1.
Casper, listen, I don't know what happened out there. It wasn't my fault.
Well, whose fault was it then? Who was the idiot behind the wheel of your car, You're pathetic. You won't even admit when you made a mistake. How did they ever sign you?
Oh, Butler. Devon, I didn't see you there.
What, like, out on the track today? You nearly took me out, mate.
Look, I don't know what happened. You cut in, I swerved. Next thing I knew, Casper was out.
Whoa. Mate, I was nothing to do with it. Whatever that was all on you. Don't be trying to pass the blame, because you haven't settled in yet.
Sorry, Aiden. Just bear with us one sec.
No problem.
I think that's really just a case of rookie driver, rookie mistakes. These cars are a bit different from what Aiden's used to in F2.
You seem to find your feet quite quickly after you graduated from Formula 2. What advice would you give to Jackson in his first season?
Well, stay out of my way mostly. And taking out your own teammate isn't something I would make a habit of.
Almost ready, Aiden. We're just checking audio levels.
Sure.
Seriously, Casper must be wondering what on earth As we're thinking.
That's great. Thanks, Devon.
Yeah.
Okay, Aiden. Let's talk about that incident with your teammate.
Brian.
Talk to me. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Listen, what happened out there today? I had it all under control and then...
Look, let's not go through all that now. We'll talk about it at the debrief.
Right, yeah.
I was actually talking about your little run-in with Casper and Butler over in the paddock.
Oh, wow. News travels fast.
The paddock talks, Aiden. Besides, I've got ears like a hawk. Listen, Butler's a clown. The man's ego is bigger than a... No, I've got nothing. Don't give it a second thought.
Thanks, Brian.
But Casper? Yes, he can get a little hot-headed, especially after a race. But you have got to work with him. That maneuver today...
Wasn't my fault, Brian.
It probably cost us points. I'll level with you. A lot of people on the team are disappointed, Aiden. And I'll be saying as much to Casper. Now, learn from it and move on. But you can't let it happen again. I'll see you at the debrief.
And the drama begins here in the Breaking Point story. First run-in with our teammate. But we've got the Chinese Grand Prix coming up, so let's see what that has in store for us. The world of motorsport moves fast, with focus quickly shifting to the Chinese Grand Prix. Aiden Jackson and Haas are eager to find form heading into the fourth race of the 2020 season.
It's the Chinese Grand Prix here in Shanghai, and this track fast becoming a rookie's favourite. Alex Albon, remember him from last year? A brilliant race in his debut season, and it looks like Aiden Jackson's continuing the trend.
He really is, Croft. He's showing great promise so far this season.
Well, here's AKKERMAN now, going up behind his young teammates.
The rumour in the paddock, Crofty, is that the tension's building between these two. Let's see what happens here.
Here we go, AKKERMAN's going for it. Down the inside of the hairpin, he's barged his teammate off the track.
What are you doing? Casper, what the hell?
Looks like Jackson's really struggling to get over that.
Okay, Aiden, keep it focused. Concentrate.
That brush with his teammate clearly affecting the young driver.
It looks like it has, Crofty. I can't see any significant damage to that car, so he's going to have to pull himself back into this race.
Car's looking okay, Aiden. See if you can recover a few places.
What was that all about?
You can recover, Aiden.
That's not okay. That's really not okay.
Alright then, so here we go. Right on the back of Lando Norris as we try to recover some points in this race. Trying to get a nice exit here out of the long right-hander. Still getting used to the handling model in F1 2021. I am enjoying it though. I do like the handling. I feel like the cars are just a bit nicer to drive, a bit more pointy, and very confidence inspiring, as Lando made a late defense there, but we managed to avoid contact. But I mean, it's quite realistic, to be honest, with the way the drivers sometimes defend in real life. They're not meant to make reactive moves, but they all do it, as we check.
Ocon is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 2.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:39.5. You're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap.
And next up is Esteban Ocon, and you can see we're catching him relatively quickly. So I can't imagine it'll be too long until we go for a move on the Frenchman. And indeed, we catch up to him heading into the snail section, the second of the two snaily kind of sections. Ocon with the switchback though, and we almost lose that position, but with the inside line through this long right-hander, Ocon just can't hold it around the outside there, and we make that position. And we have a check of the replay of this one, and yeah, great switchback by Ocon, but through this right-hander it's just so long, and you're not going to get it around the outside just there, so we maintain that position ahead of Esteban. Next up we catch up to Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. He's a lap down, so the AlphaTauris really have been nerfed in this braking point, at least if you choose Haas as your own team. But right on the back of the McLaren of Carlos Sainz, bit of a bump there as we switch from left to right as we now head side by side with Carlos Sainz down the back straight. DRS open for us and not for Carlos Sainz, and that's going to help us pull clear of the Spaniard, and we will make that move stick. And now we'll shift our focus to Casper Ackerman, the gatekeeper of the points at the moment. As we continue on though, we do catch up to Ackerman, and we may be able to still get some points in this race if we re-overtake our own teammates. So let's try and line this up out of the long right-hander, trying to stay out of the dirty air as much as we can. Very difficult to do though, because the racing line is equally important, but we get ahead of our teammate before we even get the DRS. And that just helps us pull away, and we are clear of Casper Ackerman. Next up is Alexander Albon in the Red Bull, and we're right behind him, so we could be making a move on a Red Bull very, very soon. So let's see how that goes, if we may even be able to get close enough by the time we enter turn 1
in the top 10.
and into the top 10 now, which is great as we are really closing on Albon, but it's very difficult to make a move into turn 1. You can see trying a different line, trying to get to the inside, and we're just going to get the nose there on the inside. Albon doesn't quite see us coming as we only had the slightest of overlaps, and we don't get any space there, trying to switch it back as we try and get now into the slipstream of Alexander Albon, down towards the end of the first sector, up the inside of the Red Bull, and we get a little bit of a squeeze onto the curb, bounce a bit wide, but Albon can't get the power down there, and we are through and up into 9th position. But there is still time to make some more overtakes, so now our next target is Devon Butler, who we catch heading into the first few corners. We're going to try and make the same move we made on Albon, and we're much faster this time and able to slide on through on Devon Butler and make that move relatively cleanly. And now we're up into 8th. Our next target is Sergio Perez in the racing point, though he will be difficult to catch. But that won't stop us from doing so as we close up to the back of the Mexican on the final lap of the race. Very close through the end of the second sector, now heading into the final sector down the inside of Sergio Perez, and we make that move cleanly on the Mexican in the racing point. And now we have a clear run to the line to come home in 7th position.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Plenty to look at there, and a little bit ominous seeing the two Haas teammates make contact again.
Things don't look stable between these two drivers, Crofty. They've barely been teammates 5 minutes.
That wheel bump, could that have been avoided, Ant?
Yeah, it looked like Ackerman was making a bit of a statement to me. He's certainly not given Jackson any room.
A sign of things to come? Well, for their sakes, let's hope not. That wraps things up here in China. Until next time.
Following an eventful Chinese Grand Prix, tensions are on the rise at Haas as Jackson and Ackerman again make contact with one another, following an aggressive overtake maneuver by the veteran.
Casper, what the hell was that? You nearly put me out the entire race. Bumping wheels like that, you could have put us both into the barrier. Casper, come on, man.
I have to make a phone call.
Casper! AKKERMAN!
Mom! Cancel the TV subscription. The entertainment is right here.
Oh, come off it. Do you really have nothing better to do?
Right now? No. And why would I want to miss this? You two are like characters in a badly written sitcom. He wanted you all lot to sign Ricardo, you know.
Not a bad choice.
Ask anyone.
What do you mean?
The paddock talks, mate. And so did AKKERMAN. Should have heard him last season. He didn't care who he talked to, and he was always going off on one about you. He tried to stop him from signing you. He didn't want to play babysitter.
Oh, he did he?
Everyone knows. Have you not seen the way that people look at you? We all feel sorry for you, mate. You never stood a chance with him. You want my advice? Prove him wrong. Chin up.
Hey, Ma.
Hello, love. I saw the race and thought I'd give you a call.
And why's that?
Just to say well done, like I always do.
Oh, right.
I saw what happened in the race with Casper. Can't believe he wasn't penalized. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
And Casper, what's he said about it?
Nothing. He wouldn't speak to me.
Well, maybe keep trying. It can't hurt to clear the air. Just remember what your grandmother always used to say. The fights that can't be won are the fights you fight the hardest.
I'm not even sure that makes sense.
Just whatever's going on, don't let it get to you. And call me later, okay?
Will do.
Oh, I love the phone calls in this. It's just, I don't know, adds a little bit of something. Yeah, I think that is where I'm going to leave it for this first episode of this series. I am thoroughly enjoying the Breaking Point story mode. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you'll stick around for the rest of the F1 2021 videos that will be coming over the next year or so. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.